So many young women forget about this essential thing when they're getting into a relationship, especially when they're young. If you're unexperienced with relationships, you should know these couple rules in order to not lose yourself in any type of relationship. Just imagine you're meeting someone, you fall in love with them, you forget what you like, you only cater to them, you only think about what they want. Here comes rules to not lose yourself in a relationship. Let's start with the very first thing, which is who are you and what do you like? Comes to your traits, your personality, and the quirks that make you you, you should never let these go, no matter what relationship you're in. Whether it's the love of your life or whether you're just in a situationship, never ever lose yourself. Because those qualities, those traits that characterize you, are the things that attracted this partner into your life. You lose the core essential traits that attract these people, you essentially will lose those people in the end. Whether you are super charismatic and extroverted, or you're pretty shy but at the same time you take great care of yourself, those are things that make you you. Those are things that you should never ever let go. For instance, let's take the first example I gave you with the extroverted person. If you come into a relationship and your partner expects you to be introverted and never go out, even if you are a super social extroverted person, and you change your behavior to be liked by this person, then you essentially lose core traits of yourself, which is the mistake that most people do, especially young people. Because when you're young and you do not have much experience with relationships or dating, then you might think you need to adjust yourself in order to be liked by this person, which is absolutely not true. This actually leads us to the second thing, which is always prioritize yourself. Some people might attack me for this, but I always say do not revolve your whole world around this one person, because your world revolves around you, and you should just as well revolve around your own interests and always put your best interest first. In a healthy relationship, your partner is actually the best interest for you. Usually, your partner should not do anything that's harmful for you or that will hurt you. And this is the same principle you should apply to yourself. Never do things that you wouldn't have done by yourself. For example, your partner wants you to go out to a party in an area where you do not like being. Would you go there? Or would you listen to your intuition and just reject the offer and stay home? If you chose the second option, then you're on the right track. You should not do things that are not in the best interest for you, obviously. But some people forget that. Most people think that if your partner desires something from you, which you might not be able to give, that you need to harvest everything in order to be able to provide this desire for them. But it's not always possible. Just as many young women actually expect a man to be super wealthy and have a yacht and a big house and many trust funds. So those things are also expectations which not every man can live up to, obviously. And there are some people that would not go into a relationship with a man that does not provide this for them, which is also a very common mistake because it's usually the 1% that has these things. You have to be realistic at some point. Of course, having a provider who's also wealthy or a millionaire or a billionaire is a dream of every woman, but that's just not realistic. And that's also something I give to my girlfriends that do dream of these type of relationships. If a man has a lot of wealth, it's typical that he lacks in some other parts. So it should not be the standard for every woman because most women prioritize love. Of course, they say, yeah, we love money and we love going out, but that's not always true. Essentially, as our core value, we require love in a relationship. That's why just prioritizing what's in your best interest is the most important tip I have for you right now. Moving on to the third tip that I have for you is find out what your hobbies are. What are you doing in your free time? Try to write that down, create a routine, especially if you do not have certain courses or classes that you regularly attend. Try to create something. By creating something, I mean create a routine that you follow on a weekly basis, for example, such as going to ballet class, going to dance classes, maybe a painting class. Maybe you have a book club that you go to and you share your most recent findings. Stuff like that. Things that fill you up, fill your own cup, basically. Because even if you get into a relationship, you cannot expect your partner to be around you 24/7. Your partner had a life before you, and your partner will have or should have a life after you. It's great if you love spending time with each other, especially in the early phases of the relationship, but that's just not the reality for the rest of your life. In order to avoid the emptiness that we feel after getting to know this person on every kind of level, try to elongate this getting to know each other for as long as you can. Or the other option would be to evolve constantly. Try to find new hobbies to pursue, new goals that you are ambitious to reach. Try to evolve yourself like a Pokemon. You have the first stage you're in, which is maybe before the relationship. In the relationship, you constantly change, you constantly learn new things, and you become this garden of flowers. In the beginning, you can imagine yourself being like one little rose, and after getting to know a person, you're not a whole garden in itself. If you plant your own seeds, if you plan your own life, then you will be the only person to water your own garden. And you will flourish and thrive no matter if this person is around or not. And by having this person around throughout your whole life, no matter how many flowers you try to put in your garden, this person will see you evolve into a whole garden, into a whole bouquet. Don't try to see it as escaping from the relationship to do your own thing, but instead see it as a surplus of hobbies, a surplus of enthusiasm that you bring into the relationship. So at the end of the day, you will have things to talk about when you're eating together. This leads me to the fourth point of the video, which is to always make time for yourself. I know I said it before and I'll say it again, you need to prioritize yourself. Do not jump spontaneously whenever he wants you to, or she wants you to. But try to keep in mind that you have your own time, that you have your own plans, and if something needs to be cancelled in order to spend time with your partner, then maybe communicate openly about this, that you do have plans already and that you might need to move the certain activity with your partner to another time. Because by showing a person that you're constantly ready to cancel this, cancel that, cancel everything that's going on in your life, you show them that they are the most highest priority they can be. This shows that you lack discipline, and this constant availability does not invite people to respect you and respect your boundaries or your free time. In another video I already talked about it, but scarcity is what makes people value things more. So if you are not constantly available in your free time, and if you have your own life going on, then people will value you more. People will value your free time. They will not cancel last minute. They will not try to move your plans whenever it's perfect for them, but bad timing for you. And essentially, this is what keeps the relationship dynamic. If you're just glued to your partner like a sticker that they cannot detach from, then this will be a burden on their shoulders. And you do not want that. You want the relationship to feel lighthearted, to feel fresh and dynamic, funny, romantic, but never burdensome. If you like the content that I'm giving you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to talk about next. And I'll see you in the next one.